Well, it was the biggest rally seen in New South Wales in a generation. Thousands of teachers, nurses, firefighters and other government workers walked off the job today to march on state parliament. They're protesting at the government's plan to cut 5,000 public service jobs, and they're angry about a 2.5% cap on pay rises. Andrew Gagan reports.
They came from around the state, a show of union strength against cuts to public sector jobs and conditions. Organisers put the turnout at 30,000 people.
If the Premier, if he had any doubts about the level of anger amongst public sector workers and the committee at large over his policies, then all he needs to do is to have a look out his window up here in Parliament House and all of those doubts will be dispelled.
No, look, this is the union movement attempting to flex its muscle, inconveniencing the public pointlessly because the policy will not change.
Teachers defied a ruling by the New South Wales Industrial Relations Commission not to strike and walked off the job for 24 hours, forcing the closure of 600 public schools. New legislation means that unless they increase productivity, pay increases will be capped at 2.5% a year, well below the current rate of inflation.
Then our wages will be cut.
The New South Wales government has also cut the powers of the Industrial Relations Commission to arbitrate in wage cases.
There were people inconvenienced today because the Teachers Federation decided to ignore the very body they claim to be protecting.
Police officers joined in, even though they've been given an exemption from the cap on pay rises.
Today, police officers are marching against injustice. When we see it out on the street, we stand up. When we see it in crime, we stand up. But today we see it in the New South Wales government.
Sydney Ferries here to stay!
Ferry services were suspended when staff walked off the job without warning. Within earshot of the protest, the opposition leader was delivering his response to the Coalition's austerity budget handed down earlier this week.
That sound that you'll hear today is the cry of betrayal from tens of thousands of nurses, teachers, police, firefighters and other public sector workers. Their wages and conditions king hit by this Premier's decision to bring back the worst of work choices.
When you mess with public sector workers' rights, then the public sector will move heaven and earth to remove you from government.
Shame, very shame!
This may be just the start of a concerted campaign of industrial chaos for New South Wales. While that may not mean ongoing strike action, the unions want to make life as difficult as possible for the New South Wales government. Andrew Gagan, Lateline.